Battle Through the Heavens. Grand World. Chapter 282. Come and fight. Hey! Bai Yongzhao is being blocked by Shaosuna at the foot of the mountain. There were already many onlookers around the heavenly peak. Ever since they heard about the identity of Shaoyan's Saint rank trial participant, most of them had rushed over, wanting to witness the elegant appearance of the Saint rank trial participant. After all, Mahuyang was an unreachable existence. They could only come to see Shaoyan to ease the regret in their hearts. Everyone became excited when they saw that the fifth expert of the Soaring Dragon ranking was blocked by the twin pearls of the Inner Academy. Regardless of whether it was Bai Yongzhao or Shaosuna, Kailin and later both were influential figures in the academy. It was unexpected that they would be able to meet these few people here. Big Brother Yi, are you going? Many young men were clustered around a handsome young man whose face was as cold as ice within the crowd. One of them respectfully looked at the latter and opened his mouth to inquire. The young man had no expression on his face. His eyes moved away from Bai Yongzhao and looked at the heavenly peak not far away. The heavenly peak was surrounded by clouds and mist, and nothing could be seen clearly. Forget it. A moment later, the young man let out a soft sigh and said, "Even if we defeat him now, the elders will have sufficient excuses. 1 month later will be the inner courtyard competition. When the time comes, we will meet again." The young man didn't say anything after his voice faded. He just stared at the confrontation in the distance. When the others heard this, they didn't dare to speak anymore. They also turned their attention to Bai Yongzhao and Kailin, Zuna. The young man only withdrew his gaze when the group of subordinates no longer looked at him. He stealthily looked at a huge mountain in the distance. There, a green-clothed lady stood there calmly, her black hair reaching her waist. She was so beautiful that it couldn't be measured. Purple light flashed in her eyes. Through the layers of space, she looked here. As if she had sensed something, the girl's purple eyes suddenly met the young man's gaze. She smiled charmingly. Yi, you really can't stand it either. The girl muttered to herself, then pursed her lips and smiled. Her purple eyes continued to look at the foot of the mountain. Compared to Yi, she was more interested in the Saint rank trial participant. Mahiyu. The young man withdrew his gaze and did not say anything. As expected, this guy who ranked first in the Soaring Dragon ranking didn't have any intentions of attacking either. Zuna, move aside. The two of you are no match for me. Although Bai Yongzhao was extremely angry, he still gritted his teeth and said. He was being stared at by countless gazes from afar. Given his temperament, he naturally wouldn't care. However, he found it hard to accept that he was being blocked by Zuna. We will only know if he is a match or not after we fight. Without waiting for Zuna to speak, Kailin only coldly opened her mouth and gently waved her delicate hand. The Origin Monarch key had already whizzed and gathered in her hand, turning into a purple sharp sword. Bai Yongzhao's sunken eyes stared intently at Zuna. When he saw the latter's expressionless face, the fury in his heart finally could not endure any longer. He suddenly took a step forward. The aura within his body was like a mountain splitting apart a rock. A wild roar was emitted and scattered the surrounding clouds and fog. An intense aura spread out, causing the expressions of the onlookers not far away to change. This fellow was much stronger than a few months ago. Bai Yongzhao, you dare to injure Zuna and Kailin. I will take your life. At this moment, a handsome young man wearing golden armor suddenly walked out from the crowd. The young man had a tall and straight figure. His black hair was like a waterfall and he had sharp edges. The most shocking thing was the scar at the corner of his eye. The scar spread from the corner of his eye and almost reached the corner of his mouth. He looked exceptionally ferocious. The captain of the punishment department, Lu Xiangyang. He actually came. It seems like he really cares about Shaosuna and Kailin. I heard that punishment department has 2 captains in total. The second and third ranked experts of the Soaring Dragon ranking are among them. This Lu Xiangyang is only ranked 3rd in the Soaring Dragon ranking, but he dares to be so tough on Bai Yongzhao. The appearance of the young man in golden armor immediately attracted the attention of the surrounding people. In an instant, whispers broke out. The young man did not care about the discussions of the crowd. His eyes were still looking at Bai Yongzhao provocatively. From time to time, he would look at Zuna and Kai Lin with adoration. Lu Xiangyang, Elder Wu actually let you out. Bai Yongzhao harumphed coldly when he saw the golden-armored young man. He looked at the golden-armored young man fearlessly. You don't have to worry about that. Today, whoever dares to hurt Zuna and Kai Lin, I will make them pay a painful price. Lu Xiangyang crossed his arms in front of his chest, smiled coldly, and said in a domineering manner. Zuna and Kai Lin looked at each other. They could see the worry in each other's eyes. Lu Xiangyang's arrival seemed to be to fight Bai Yongzhao, but in fact, it added more pressure to Xiaoyan. Facing the top 10 experts in the Soaring Dragon ranking, even the Saint rank trial participant would find it difficult to deal with them. Haha, this brother is right, but you don't have to worry about it. If anyone dares to hurt a hair of Zuna and Kai Lin, I will make them pay a terrible price. Bai Yongzhao was just about to speak when a long roar suddenly sounded from the heavenly peak. In the next moment, Xiaoyan's loud laughter was transmitted into everyone's ears with the help of the Origin Monic Key. At the same time, Xiaoyan's body also slowly descended. 2 fire wings were flapping behind him, and flames curled around them. Xiaoyan landed in the middle of Zuna and Kai Lin in front of everyone's eyes. He did not care about the gazes of everyone. He extended his hand and wrapped it around the slim waist of the 2 girls and pulled them into his embrace. The 2 girls saw the fire wings on Xiaoyan's back. They were stunned when Xiaoyan forcefully pulled them into his embrace. The 2 girls were first shocked. After which, they blushed and remained motionless in Xiaoyan's embrace. Kai Lin also struggled for a moment before obediently burying her head into Xiaoyan's chest, just like a little girl. Boom! When they saw Xiaoyan's actions, it was as though a huge thunderbolt had struck the minds of the surrounding people. It exploded in their hearts as they stared with their mouths agape at the Inner Academy's twin pearls obediently lying on Xiaoyan's chest. This was the first time that everyone had seen such a shy appearance. When they saw this scene, regardless of whether it was Bai Yongzhao, Lu Xiangyang, or even Yi Yi, whose face was as cold as ice, their expressions instantly became gloomy. A boundless fury erupted from their chests. Are you Xiaoyan? Bai Yongzhao's expression was dark and cold. He looked at the girl he loved, who was snuggling against him like a little bird. In the arms of a man, his anger almost made him dizzy. Nonsense. Xiaoyan looked at Bai Yongzhao indifferently. His eyes looked around without leaving any trace. From the eyes of many people, he could see the obvious anger. Xiaoyan sneered in his heart. He wanted to let these people know that what they were thinking was just a fantasy. Saint rank trial participant, I have been hearing about your name for a long time. Bai Yongzhao from the inner courtyard has come to learn from you. Bai Yongzhao took a deep breath. The fury in his eyes surged wildly as he said coldly. The ki on his body suddenly turned and rushed towards Xiaoyan like a sharp sword. 3 sovereigns. Xiaoyan's expression was cold and only smiled lightly. He slowly let go of the hands around the waist of the 2 girls and whispered a few words into their ears. Zuna and Kai Lin, who originally had worried expressions, instantly revealed a happy expression. Then, they obediently stood behind Xiaoyan and looked at his back, their eyes filled with love. Xiaoyan took a step forward and his ki instantly soared into the sky. Although it was slightly weaker than Bai Yongzhao's ki, the sharpness within was not the slightest bit weaker. I will stand here today. Anyone who refuses to accept my challenge, come and fight me. Xiaoyan's cold gaze swept across everyone. His cold voice filled everyone's ears. Chapter end. Please guys like, comment, share, and subscribe.